Investigators raided 9 massage businesses in the Baton Rouge area and detained 10 Chinese women following a months-long investigation.
America, we just witnessed a massive human trafficking bust that exposes how Chinese criminal organizations are using massage parlors as fronts for prostitution and exploitation. ICE agents raided 9 establishments across Baton Rouge and detained 10 Chinese women who were in this country illegally. But here's what's really disturbing. This 18-month investigation revealed that these women were likely victims of human trafficking, forced to work in these parlors while living there overnight. 7 of the 9 businesses had their massage therapy licenses suspended in the past for unprofessional conduct, including sexual activity. This wasn't just immigration enforcement, this was rescuing trafficking victims from modern slavery.
Tonight, immigration officers took 10 women into custody, all part of several massage parlor raids in Baton Rouge.
The sheriff's office says it was part of a worksite enforcement operation that involved 9 businesses across East Baton Rouge Parish.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly illustrates how human trafficking hides behind legitimate businesses while local authorities and communities look the other way. These weren't just immigration violations. These were crimes against humanity happening in plain sight. Let me break down this massive coordinated operation. The East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office led an 18-month investigation that was correlated with simultaneous raids on 9 massage establishments across the parish, from St. George to Baton Rouge to Zachary.
After several months of investigating and a series of raids, 10 Chinese women have been detained by ICE. This joint investigation was conducted along with the Attorney General, District Attorney, BRPD, Zachary PD, St. George Fire Department, East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, U.S. Border Patrol, Drug Enforcement Administration, and Homeland Security.
When you need that many agencies, you're dealing with serious organized crime. The businesses raided included Y&L Body Relaxation, Spring Body Conditioning, Magnolia Spa, Wonderful Land Spa, All Natural Spa, Rainbow Spa, Oriental Relax Spa, Orange Spa, and Vivian's Therapy Spa. Woo! Several of these establishments had already had their massage license suspended for unprofessional conduct, including sexual activity.
Yeah, the EBR district attorney gave more information to Chief Investigator Andrew Epperson, who also spoke today with someone listed as an owner of one of the parlors raided this week.
The investigation began last November after the sheriff's office received a lot of complaints from the regular business operating in these malls, plus citizens that were complaining about suspicious activity at these particular establishments. You know what, guys? Speaking of vulnerable people being exploited by predators who trap them in bad situations, this is exactly what's happening to seniors with predatory Medicare plans. While we're watching Chinese women trapped in massage parlors by traffickers, millions of seniors are being trapped in expensive Medicare plans by dishonest salespeople who exploit their confession and trust. That is why I am proud to partner with Chapter. They're completely the opposite of these predators. Chapter's licensed advisors actually protect seniors from exploitation instead of taking advantage of them. They don't trap you in bad plans or high-pressure tactics to control your decisions. Here's the difference. Human traffickers trap victims in terrible situations for profit. Medicare predators trap seniors in overpriced plans for commission checks. But Chapter's experts actually free you from the confusion and help you escape bad Medicare situations. If you're 65 or approaching Medicare eligibility, don't let predatory salespeople trap you in expensive plans like traffickers trap victims. Chapter provides honest guidance and it's completely free. No traps, no exploitation, just real help. Check them out at askchapter.org/Tyson or call 270-467-0614. When predators are everywhere, you need people who actually protect instead of exploit. Now let me show you how these trafficking victims were being controlled and exploited. Here's where the story gets really disturbing. The district attorney revealed that the women being detained weren't just working illegally, they were likely victims of human trafficking who were living there overnight and being put up there at the particular massage parlors.
The sheriff's office received a lot of complaints from regular businesses operating in these malls, plus citizens that were complaining.
Those complaints led to a discovery: illegal massage parlors across the state. But authorities focused on these.
District Attorney Moore explained that what makes massage parlors illegal includes not having licenses, first off, and going further than just a massage.
People that are doing the massage themselves living there overnight being put up there.
Other agencies helped serve search warrants Wednesday, including ICE.
The fact that these women were living in the massage parlors shows that they were being controlled and exploited. Legitimate massage therapists don't even live at their workplace. They go home after they work like any other employee. District Attorney Moore made it clear the women are likely also victims of human trafficking. It's a big problem in Baton Rouge, but it's the owners the authorities are focused on. Our goal is to get the larger person that's behind this type of trafficking. All 10 women detained were Chinese nationals who were in the country illegally. ICE is now interviewing them to determine whether they are eligible to stay in the country, but more importantly, to determine if they're trafficking victims who can help prosecute their traffickers.
ICE said the women who have been arrested are being interviewed to determine whether they are eligible to stay in the country.
The fact that all these women were Chinese suggests this is part of an organized crime network that specifically targets Chinese women for trafficking in the United States. This isn't random, this is systematic exploitation. These women were likely recruited in China with promises of legitimate work, then trafficked to the United States, where they were forced into prostitution and controlled through debt bondage, threats, and isolation.
District Attorney Hiller Moore says the women are likely also victims of human trafficking.
It's a big problem in Baton Rouge.
But it's the owners authorities are focused on.
The massage parlor model is perfect for trafficking because it provides legitimate business fronts while allowing traffickers to control victims' living and working conditions. Customers think they're getting a legitimate service while victims are being exploited. What's really shocking is that 7 out of the 9 rated businesses had already had their massage therapy license suspended in the past for unprofessional conduct, including sexual activity. So local authorities knew these places were problematic but allowed them to continue operating. At the Rainbow Spa, one of the rated locations, there was a violation notice on the window citing inspectional violations such as electrical, plumbing, and complaints that have been submitted to the Inspector General. The building was clearly not up to code. Another rated location had paperwork from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security at the door showing federal agents were investigating this establishment for immigration violations and potentially trafficking. District Attorney Moore said the massage board had taken every possible action against these parlors, including cease and desist letters and fines, but the business continued operating illegally. This shows the need for stronger enforcement mechanisms.
You better make sure that you have a license. You better make sure that you're doing everything above board.
This operation is just the beginning of a larger crackdown in human trafficking in Louisiana. The investigation picked out these 9 as being those at the top level in which they needed to pay attention to, suggesting that there are other suspicious establishments that may be targeted in future operations. Moore said the EBR leader will work with legislators to tighten up the law to make sure it's harder for illegal parlors to operate. This shows the recognition that current laws and enforcement mechanisms are inadequate. The fact that this investigation took 18 months shows the complexity of building trafficking cases and the need to sustain law enforcement attention to dismantle these criminal networks. America, this Baton Rouge operation shows exactly what real anti-trafficking enforcement looks like. Instead of just arresting people for immigration violations, investigators recognize that these Chinese women were likely victims who need to be rescued, not punished. The fact that 7 of 9 businesses had already been suspended for sexual activity shows how trafficking operations hide behind legitimate business licenses while local authorities struggle with inadequate enforcement tools. District Attorney Moore deserves credit for focusing on the larger person behind this trafficking operation rather than just prosecuting the victims. The 18-month investigation involved multiple agencies, shows the level of coordination needed to dismantle sophisticated trafficking networks that exploit vulnerable women. These Chinese women were likely promised legitimate work, but instead found themselves trapped in a system of debt bondage, forced labor, and sexual exploitation while living at their workplace under trafficker control. The warning to other massage parlors shows that this crackdown will continue until illegal operations are shut down and trafficking victims are rescued. I'll keep you updated as more trafficking networks get exposed and dismantled. And remember, when you see these massage parlor raids, they're not just about immigration, they're about rescuing victims of modern slavery. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.